That's a nation you cannot ask to unconditionally surrender. They have a different cultural pain threshold than we have in the West.
Harga bahan bakar domestik di Amerika Serikat melambung tembus angka $4 Amerika per liter.
Stuff that I want to do with my kids, like I have to limit that now because of funds. I have to pay more funds for gas throughout the week.
Obviously, it's affecting our family. Like, we are tightening up our budget, not going out to eat as much, watching where we spend our money.
8 juta warga Amerika Serikat turun ke jalan melakukan aksi penolakan perang terhadap Iran.
Power to the people, no kings! No war! No ice!
Dampaknya, dalam keterangan terbaru 1 April kemarin, Presiden Donald Trump menyatakan akan segera angkat kaki dari Iran dalam 2 atau 3 pekan ke depan.
All I have to do is leave Iran, and we'll be doing that very soon. And they'll become tumbling down, and stock prices were up today almost to a record. And, we'll be leaving very soon, and if France or some other country wants to get oil or gas, they'll go up through the Strait and Hormuz Strait. They'll go right up there and they'll be able to fend for themselves. I think it'll be very safe actually, but we have nothing to do with them.
Keberhasilan Barat menumbangkan pemerintahan Irak, Libya, Suriah, dan Venezuela tampaknya telah membuat mereka besar kepala. Terlebih lagi, para ilmuwan nuklir dan pejabat tinggi militer Iran telah berhasil mereka habisi satu persatu, membuat mereka tambah percaya diri. Satu-satunya batu sandungan bagi rencana mereka untuk menumbangkan Iran adalah pemimpin tertinggi Iran, Imam Sayyid Ali Khamenei. Amerika Serikat dan Israel telah berhasil meretas setiap kamera pengawas di jalan-jalan Teheran. Sumber intelijen Israel menyebut mereka bisa mengawasi Teheran dari jarak jauh, seperti mereka melihat Yerusalem. Kegiatan harian pengawal dan kebiasaan Imam Khamenei dimata-matai selama berbulan-bulan hingga menemukan polanya. Pada 28 Februari 2026, sekitar pukul 09.40 waktu setempat, rentetan serangan rudal presisi tinggi menghantam kompleks kantor dan kediaman Imam Khamenei, mengakibatkan beliau dan beberapa petinggi senior Iran syahid seketika. Pihak AS Israel sesumbar telah berhasil menumbangkan rezim Iran.
Had a madman named Khomeini who sadly is no longer with us. And we had regime change already. We've knocked out one regime, then we knocked out the second regime. Now we have a group of people that are very different. They're much more reasonable. I think much less radicalized. We have had regime change. We're dealing with people that are much more rational, and it's amazing what we've done.
Namun, yang luput dari perhitungan mereka, sistem komando Iran telah dirancang sedemikian rupa agar tidak terpusat pada satu orang. Tampaknya Imam Khamenei telah mempersiapkan segalanya dengan sangat matang. Rencana yang telah disusun selama 47 tahun untuk menghadapi situasi terburuk akhirnya digelar.
I think what Iran is doing is taking a strategy that they actually developed over the last 30 or 40 years after the Iran-Iraq War, which was fought from 1980 to 1988.
Iran diam-diam mempelajari setiap perang yang dilakukan AS dan sekutunya di masa lalu. Mereka sadar bahwa teknologi Barat memang canggih, tetapi itulah titik lemahnya. Teknologi canggih harganya mahal. Iran memilih strategi perang tak berimbang atau asimetris, di mana senjata canggih berhadapan dengan drone murah namun mematikan. Aturan perangnya sederhana. Siapa yang lebih dulu kehabisan persenjataan akan kalah dengan sendirinya.
Which was a strategy of diffusing their power across the region. And they did that in the failed states of Syria during the Syrian civil war, in Lebanon with Hezbollah, with the Hashd-Shabi and PMUs in Iraq, and the Houthis in Yemen. And they distributed their power through those states. And what we're seeing now is they're doing some of that now as well, but they are also moving this sort of guerrilla strategy, what we call diffusion strategy, of pushing their power out across the region and making themselves a bigger target in a way, a harder target to hit. They're taking that same strategy and moving it to the state level and pushing conflict into where we are sitting here in Doha, into Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain.
Itulah sebabnya Menteri Luar Negeri Iran, Abbas Araghchi, dalam sebuah wawancara menyebutkan bahwa ia tidak khawatir Iran kalah perang. Yang ia khawatirkan adalah Iran salah dalam kalkulasi. Pernyataan ini menyiratkan rencana Iran yang sebenarnya. Iran tidak berniat mengalahkan teknologi canggih AS. Mereka hendak menyeret AS dan sekutunya dalam perang panjang yang melelahkan. Sebuah langkah logis dan cerdas.
They know they can't compete with the United States in terms of kinetic power or military power directly. So what they're doing is rather than dealing directly with us, they're creating pressure on the United States politically by raising the price of oil, and then the Hormuz Strait obviously plays into that.
Jauh ini yang salah kalkulasi adalah Amerika Serikat. Hal ini ditegaskan sendiri oleh Malcolm Nance, seorang pensiunan senior chief cryptologist Angkatan Laut Amerika Serikat, dengan pengalaman di dunia militer selama lebih dari 36 tahun.
So if somebody were to come and say that, and I'd say, okay, you hit 70,000 targets or data points up there. Explain to me how this meets your end goal. Are we meeting your end state? They'll go, no, we got to do something about the Strait of Hormuz. Then you're not winning. What you're doing is expending ordnance. Expending ordnance is not equal to winning. Ask the U.S.-backed government of Vietnam. Oh, it doesn't exist. Ask the democratically elected government of Afghanistan. Oh, it doesn't exist. The Taliban won, and both of those countries kicked our ass wearing flip-flops. So, not joking. So explain to me what the, victory conditions here are. If you go and say it's a situation where oil can flow and the global stress is taken off the system, then that means Donald Trump is losing and will lose this war.
Yang membuat AS dan Israel tambah kesal adalah tujuan mereka menghilangkan Imam Khamenei ternyata malah digantikan oleh Khamenei versi 2.0. Mujtaba Khamenei, putra Imam Khamenei, yang bisa dikatakan sebagai Khamenei dalam versi muda.
Under Iran's constitution, the Assembly of Experts holds the power to choose the next supreme leader. 8 days after Khamenei's death, that decision came. The clerical body named his son, Mujtaba Khamenei, as the new supreme leader. The 56-year-old cleric has long been a powerful figure behind the scenes, cultivating close ties with the Revolutionary Guard and the inner circle of the Iranian state. But he's never held elected office and has rarely spoken publicly. His appointment signals something profound: continuity. For the first time since the 1979 revolution, power in the Islamic Republic has effectively passed from father to son.
Iran tidak tumbang seperti yang diharapkan. Rakyat dan pemerintahnya lebih tangguh dari sebelumnya. Perang Iran selama 1 bulan terakhir ini telah mempertontonkan karakter bangsa Persia atau bangsa Iran yang lebih memilih gugur dengan mulia daripada tunduk dan menjilat para penjajah.
You cannot speak to the people of Iran with the language of threats and deadlines. Our people are a great people with a very rich culture. One must speak to the people of Iran with respect. Otherwise, they will receive exactly the response they are receiving now.
Maka patutlah karakter bangsa ini dipuji oleh Nabi Muhammad 1400 tahun lalu dan diabadikan Allah dalam Al-Quran Surah Muhammad ayat 38. Ingatlah bahwa kamu adalah orang-orang yang diajak untuk menginfakkan hartamu di jalan Allah. Lalu di antara kamu ada orang yang kikir. Padahal siapa yang kikir, sesungguhnya dia kikir terhadap dirinya sendiri. Allah lah yang maha kaya dan kamulah yang fakir. Jika kamu berpaling dari jalan yang benar, Dia akan menggantikan kamu dengan kaum yang lain, dan mereka tidak akan durhaka sepertimu. Terkait ayat tersebut, Abu Hurairah meriwayatkan, Rasulullah membaca ayat ini sampai akhir, maka para sahabat bertanya, "Ya Rasulullah, siapakah orang-orang itu yang jika kami berpaling dari perintah Allah, mereka akan menggantikan kami dan mereka tidak seperti kami?" Maka Rasulullah menepuk pundak Salman, kemudian berkata, "Inilah orangnya dan kaumnya. Demi Allah yang diriku di tangannya, seandainya agama itu tergantung di bintang Suraya, itu akan digapai oleh orang-orang dari Persia."
This campaign was initiated by the Shia community, but the Sunni community with men, women and children has also participated in large numbers, contributing jewelry, cash and whatever they could. We have also seen participation from Hindus and Sikhs. The brutality of American and Israeli forces, particularly in the killing of Sayyid Ali Khamenei, has united people from all communities. Hindus, Sikhs, and others are now standing together against this oppression by Israel.